You don't have to fear anything from America. But doing half-ass is just as bad. So I'm trying to find a way to get the policy right, because the audience is just not Assad, it's the entire region and the Iranians. By 2014, if we don't change things in Syria, the king of Jordan will be deposed. He's the last moderate voice in the region. He has 600,000 refugees flowing from Syria into Jordan, and his kingdom is at risk. He has a peace treaty with Israel. A year from now, you will not just be fighting Al-Qaeda in Syria, you're going to be fighting Al-Qaeda in Jordan. And you're going to lose the last voice we've got that we can do business with, because we're so screwed up when it comes to our foreign policy. This started with Benghazi, when they overran our consulate and they killed 4 Americans and our ambassador, and not one person has been held to account. They turned to each other and said, God, can you believe that? Can you imagine what Bush and Reagan would have done? So weakness started with pulling all the troops out of Iraq. Then it was followed up by this debacle called Benghazi. And we have been sending signals to the most radical, hardcore terrorists in the world that we are not resolved in defending our people and our friends. And if we're not resolved in defending our people and our friends, they're going to go nuts. Radical Islam is on steroids. Finally, if the Iranians get a nuclear weapon, Sunni Arab states, this is a Shia Persian country, Sunni Arab states have been fighting these guys for 1,000 years. They're going to want a nuclear weapon too. Do you agree with that? Yeah. The Saudis are going to get one. Egypt will try to get one. Turkey will try to get one. What country's in the middle of this mess? Israel. So you have a scenario building this summer that could lead to a nuclear arms race in the Mideast. The last place in the world you want nuclear weapons is the Mideast. Why? People over there are crazy. So, if you want to stop it now, do something that would change the narrative. We're weak, and our friends can't count on us, and our enemies are emboldened. I don't have all the answers in Syria, but I know doing nothing is going to lead to what I just said, and doing something that is weak is just as bad as doing nothing. I'm trying to find the middle ground. If Israel believes the Iranians are close to a nuclear weapon, do you believe they will attack?
Yes.
I believe that if we get Syria wrong, within 6 months, and you can quote me on this, there will be a war between Iran and Israel over their nuclear program. The Jewish state has a saying. What is it?
Never again.
Never again. They mean it. The Israeli Air Force has far less capability than we do, even though they're one of the finest air forces in the world. The Iranians know that if we took them on to stop their nuclear programs, we would win and they would lose. They believe they can withstand an Israeli attack and march forward. The Ayatollahs are crazy, they're not stupid. If they got a nuclear weapon, they believe they would be safe from Western involvement, just like North Korea. The day that these Ayatollahs get nuclear technology, I believe they would share it with terrorists. Do you believe that?
Yes.
And my fear is that it won't come to America on the top of a missile. It will come in the belly of a ship in Charleston or New York Harbor. And that we will have nuclear technology coming to America supplied by Iran. That you can't contain a nuclear-armed Iran. You have to prevent it. I wish we lived in better times. I wish people in the world were more stable. I wish war would go away. But you can't defend yourself based on wishing and hoping.